Welcome back to Right on the Edge, and today I'd like to go into unsolved mysteries from Washington State. So, you all might not know, but I'm from Washington. Well, not from Washington, but I live in Washington. So, seeing stuff like this, I know a lot of crime and criminals live in Washington, so I'm excited to watch this and learn about unsolved mysteries of Washington State. So, let's watch this together.
You're watching Northern Crimes.
Northern
There are
crime.
places where stories vanish into rivers, into forests, into silence. And in Washington State, that silence can be deafening. Beneath its towering evergreens and along its fog-swept coastlines, strange things happen. People disappear in broad daylight. Deaths are written off as accidents, even when the evidence says otherwise. And
That's a pretty good hook. That's a pretty good hook, guys.
sometimes the truth is buried so deep, it slips into legend. In this episode, we're diving into 6 chilling cases from across the state, mysteries that defy easy answers. Some remain unsolved after decades, while others close too quickly. But all of them leave behind the same question. How can someone vanish or die and leave no explanation behind?
A lot of times really easy. It's just about how they died or where they died.
These are the stories Washington still doesn't have answers for, and once you hear them, they're hard to forget. This is Northern Crimes.
Northern crimes. Boom, 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 boom. Remember you like, subscribe to them and to me. Wow, that was a really good cutscene. Probably didn't need to say anything. Subscribe.
On September 16th, 1987, 28-year-old Julie Weflin vanished without a trace from her workplace in Spokane, Washington. What began as a routine maintenance check at an electrical substation would become one of the Pacific Northwest's most enduring mysteries. Julie was one of the few female power equipment technicians working at the Bonneville Power Administration. At just 5
I was even rarer then than it is now. And it's still a pretty rare thing for, a woman to do.
feet 2 inches tall and 110 pounds, she was known for her grit and professionalism in a field dominated by men. That September afternoon, she was called to check the nitrogen levels at the Spring Hill substation near Riverside State Park. She signed in around 2 p.m. Based on the work order and equipment readings, investigators believe she finished the job by 3:30 p.m.
So she did the full job, or someone else finished the job for her. You never know. Hey, never rule out coworkers.
But from that point on, Julie disappeared. It wasn't until nearly 9 p.m. that a neighbor noticed her truck sitting alone in the gravel lot. The scene was unsettling. The driver's side door and back hatch were both open. Her hard hat, toolbox, sunglasses, and water bottle were on the ground next to the vehicle. Her
That's weird.
purse was still inside. Even more disturbing were the drag marks in the
So it's not a robbery.
gravel, suggesting a struggle, as if Julie had tried to brace herself against the ground while being pulled away. Nearby, fresh tire tracks didn't match her truck, pointing to another vehicle at the scene. From the beginning, the evidence suggested a targeted abduction.
Or a targeted murder. Man, for real.
Julie's husband, Mike, was quickly ruled out. He was painting a house 50 miles away that day. But he became the case's most dedicated advocate, organizing volunteer searches and keeping her story in the public eye for decades.
Good job, man.
One lead centered on a man who lived near the substation, a reclusive figure with reported ties to another missing woman, Deborah Jean Swanson, a teacher who disappeared
It's amazing how these people are always around. There's always like somebody that kidnapped a woman sometime.
From nearby Coeur d'Alene in 1986. He allegedly refused to cooperate with police and may have sent Mike a threatening letter months after the disappearance, though
Allegedly he did that.
he was ultimately cleared as a suspect. Julie's former co-worker, amateur investigator John Polos, has long believed her case may be linked to a string of disappearances and murders in the Spokane area throughout the 1980s. The pattern is unsettling. Young women with similar builds vanishing without clear explanation. In 2020, a new witness stepped forward. He claimed to have seen Julie being abducted.
2020 is not that long ago, 5 years ago.
But at the time believed he was watching a domestic argument. He told authorities the woman and man were calling each other by name, suggesting Julie may have known her attacker. Despite decades of investigation and a $25,000 reward, Julie Weflin's fate remains unknown. Her case underscores how danger can strike without any warning, even in daylight.
Kind of unknown, but I think given the scene of the crime and everything, we can effectively rule out that she's not retired somewhere.
Even in familiar places. And the question that haunts her family and investigators to this day remains unanswered. What happened at that remote substation on September 16th, 1987? On September 8th, 1986, 18-year-old Kyra Cook woke up in excruciating pain, lying in the grass at R.A. Long Park in Longview, Washington. Her head throbbed, her ears rang, and then came the realization that shattered her sense of self. She had no idea who she was.
Well, that would do it. Yeah, that would definitely shatter your sense of self.
She didn't know her name, where she was, or what day it was. What happened next became one of the rarest documented cases of amnesia in the world.
The rarest?
A condition estimated to affect just 1 in 5 million people. Kyra wandered through the park in a daze. The first person she encountered was an elderly man reading a newspaper by his car. She asked for help. He agreed to drive her to the police station, but curiously, he dropped her off half a block away and drove off without checking to see if she made it inside.
Oh, that is weird. That's very strange behavior.
At 3:15 p.m., Deputy Joe Reese found Kyra standing outside the Cowlitz County Hall of Justice, looking frightened and confused. When he told her he was taking her to the hospital, her response stopped him cold.
I don't know what a hospital is.
At St. John's Hospital, doctors discovered a small lump on the back of Kyra's head, consistent with being struck or suffering a fall.
So she either fell down and hit herself just right, or she was hit in the head.
Single injury had triggered a rare form of acute episodic amnesia. She couldn't remember her own name, her family, or even whether she'd graduated from high school. Investigators tried to piece together what happened during the missing hour. Kyra had left her house around 2:15 p.m. to mail a package to her German pen pal. By 3 p.m., she was found in the park. What happened in between remains unknown. When Kyra's photo appeared in the Longview Daily News, her mother, Gloria, immediately recognized her, but their reunion
At least her mom was there.
was heartbreaking. Kyra turned to the nurse and asked,
Are these supposed to be my parents?
That's crazy.
The change was profound. Friends described the old Kyra as wild and rebellious. The young woman who returned home was quiet, formal, and distant. She
I heard that amnesia can often change the personality of the person that gets it. As rare as it is.
no longer bit her nails. She refused to ride the bus. She stopped reading for pleasure. And most tragically, she lost her ability to taste or
Man, that's a real injury.
smell. 3 theories emerged. Police believed she may have been hit by a car. Her brown paper bag with makeup and spending money was missing. Others speculated mistaken identity, pointing to a similar looking girl in the area who'd been assaulted multiple times by a stranger.
It could be too. It could just be that'd be weird coincidence though.
The most enduring mystery is the man who drove her to the courthouse. Despite public pleas, he never came forward. Today, Kyra has reportedly regained most of her memories and built a new life, but that single hour and the self that disappeared with it remains a blank space she may never recover.
Wow. So that's a couple of these mysteries. Unsolved Mysteries of Washington State. I'm gonna upload this in a couple of videos to see how short videos do with the algorithm. But yeah, no, let me know if you guys like this or if you like to hear more strange stuff about Washington State. You know, because I don't know a lot about it outside of Bigfoot, you know? I mean, Bigfoot's definitely it's popular with the locals, that's for sure. But yeah, we're gonna try a good old 10-minute video and see how that works. But thanks as always for coming to my channel, and I hope you have a great night.